Court of the State of Washington is now in session.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Temple of Justice. We're most thrilled to have such a large turnout of new admittees under our APR 8G authority. This morning, it gives me great pleasure to be able to welcome our military family to the Supreme Court of the State of Washington. As we all know, Washington was one of the very first states in the Union to adopt APR 8G, which does authorize military personnel to appear and represent their clients in the courts of the State of Washington in any matter, litigation, or administrative proceeding, should they qualify under our rule. This is, I think, recognized to be such an important rule because we recognize that the power of any attorney for his client is the ability to go into court and actually litigate a matter for their client. It's all great and wonderful to be able to write a letter or to pick up the phone and attempt to negotiate a settlement for your client. But if the community knows that you cannot follow through by going to court and actually vindicating your client's rights, then that power that the client has been diminished. And so this rule really does give that additional power to their military lawyers, to the service people who work in our great state of Washington. So we are very happy to be able to welcome you, to be able to carry out this very important work for your clients. We do know that oftentimes military personnel have low pay, cannot afford an attorney to represent them. If they have to go out of pocket to obtain legal representation, they will not. And so you, by volunteering and becoming members of the Washington State Bar in this limited capacity, are doing a great service to your colleagues in the military and to actually our community in the state of Washington. The courts have no desire to see people taken advantage of, and you are doing a great service for our communities as well as for your clients. So thank you very much for being willing to step up, to volunteer, and to be considered for admission under our limited practice rule. I would like to, at this time, call forward Stephen Carpenter, who is the incoming LAMP chair for the state of Washington, to make presentations of our applicants today.
Chief Justice Mattson and members of the Washington State Supreme Court, it is my distinct honor to appear before you on behalf of the Legal Assistance to Military Personnel section of the Washington State Bar as its acting chair. In regards to the honor that I have here today, I would like to first note a couple of dignitaries that are here present as well, specifically Captain David Wilson of the United States Navy, Commanding Officer of Navy Legal Services Office Northwest on Naval Base Kitsap, located in Bremerton, Washington. Representing the 62nd Air Wing, specifically Lieutenant Colonel Dawson, who is the Staff Judge Advocate at McChord Air Force Base, is Captain Michael Behrens, the Deputy SJA. Finally, representing Colonel Kurt Didier, who is the Staff Judge Advocate at Fort Lewis at JBLM, is Captain John Nelson, who is the Chief of Legal Assistance at JBLM. Madam Justice and members of the Supreme Court, in regards to APR 8G, it is phenomenal that this court has sponsored and given the opportunity to these lawyers that hail from different places to practice in a limited capacity in the state of Washington. As I like to term it, these are individuals who will go forth and represent some individuals in the various services who have seen combat, whose families, whose dependents have seen and overcome many challenges. And by your sanctioning this event, you allow these protectors, these legal protectors, to protect our protectors of freedom. And it's a phenomenal opportunity for them, giving them teeth to negotiate and resolve in a quicker rate issues as it relates to landlord-tenant, issues as they relate to installment contracts, issues as it relate to consumer protection. And that's phenomenal. And on behalf of LAMP, we thank you very much for giving them this opportunity to, again, protect the protectors. You're giving them this opportunity based on the fact that they went through a fairly rigorous CLE back in January over the course of 2 days that former Chief Justice Jerry Alexander participated in, having provided a course on professional responsibility to these young men and women in uniform. And again, we thank you again for being so heavily involved in supporting us. As a result of this 2-day course, again, they are going to be able to go forward. It's notable that the 2-day course was held on the Bangor submarine base, which was unique. And I would like to give a special thanks to Dan Jones, who is in the United States Navy Reserve. He is a captain in 06 in the Navy. And he coordinated that, which was quite an event in this day and age. And we thank him for that. And of course, Captain Alex Straub, who is one who coordinated this event on behalf of the LAMP, also, I believe, did a phenomenal job, as represented here by these candidates here today. So with that, I would like to ask each of these candidates, as I call their name, to rise, and I will try to be as brief as possible in simply telling you a little bit about these young men and women who have decided to serve this country. The first I have, and if you please stand, and after I'm done introducing you, take a seat. The first one is, I'll start with the Navy. LTJG Ryan Aiken. Ryan has a BA in philosophy from Purdue University, graduated from George Washington University Law School in 2011. He's currently stationed in the Naval Service Office in Bremerton and is the branch head of the Legal Assistance Department. Please take a seat. Lieutenant Commander Eric McDonald, a good friend of mine, a wicked litigator, and I'm so happy that he will be seeking justice on behalf of those who protect our freedom. Lieutenant Commander Eric McDonald is attached to NILSO Northwest, and he's a Legal Assistance Department head. He has 2 tours in Iraq and has served admirably during those tours, and he has had a stellar career in the United States JAG Corps since 1993. Please take a seat. Lieutenant Nicholas Linstra. Wearing white, he hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota. He went to law school at the University of St. Thomas School of Law and is currently stationed at Naval Station Everett. And I believe he is the only lawyer there, so he's quite busy. So it's good to have somebody who's as good, competent, intelligent as this young man is. Please take a seat. Lieutenant Jocelyn Park, United States Navy, received her BA at UC Berkeley, attended UCLA School of Law in 2010, graduated from that fine law school, and is currently a legal assistance and defense attorney. And she is a branch head at Whidbey Island at their office there, and I believe that she is also alone. And for that reason, intelligent, competent, and probably quite creative. Please take your seat. Introducing the next force who protect the protectors, I will start with the Air Force, Captain Dale Hartung. Captain Hartung comes from Detroit. She graduated from the Air Force Academy in 2006 with a degree in chemistry. Attended Boston University School of Law and graduated in May of 2011, and has been at McCord since August of 2011 and is the Chief of General Law. She's married to Captain Daniel Hartung, who is currently overseas in support of OEF. Please take a seat. Captain Anastasia Lewandowski. She's assigned to McCord Airfield since April of 2011, graduated from Washington College of Law at American University in 2010, received her BA 2007 from Fordham, and is barred in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Thank you very much. United States Army. Captain Taylor Matson. From Dallas, Texas. BA from Texas A&M in English. JD from the University of Arkansas. 2 weeks, she will be heading to be the Chief of Legal Assistance at JBLM. Thank you very much. Take a seat. Next, we have Captain Benjamin Hewitt. Ben is somebody who was raised in Utah. He's a snowboarder. When he's not snowboarding, he's apparently studying. He has a BA in English from the University of Colorado. He served as a commander with the United States Army Reserve with a 651st Quartermaster Company while attending law school, and graduated with honors from Wyoming in their law school. He is currently serving as a legal assistance attorney at JBLM and has had that position since November 2011. Thank you. Captain Kovite, who is fluent in Italian because she was raised in Italy. She then moved from Italy to Montana, where she is a member of the Montana State Bar since 2010. She is currently with the Legal Assistance Office at JBLM with the Army. However, they have tasked her, because apparently she's just too smart in some occasions, and apparently she's pretty good on her feet. We'll see. We wish her the very best, and on the 19th of June, she will have her first administrative separation board because the Trial Defense Service of the United States Army wants her. Please take a seat. Captain Nicole Eldridge. Nicole is a graduate of the Roger Williams University School of Law in 2007. She is barred in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and she's currently a trial counsel for the 555, so Triple Nickel Engineer Brigade at Fort Lewis. And I believe there's one more. Please stand. This is LTJG Eileen Joy. She is a JD from 2010 from the University of Denver, and she's a legal assistance attorney and defense counsel currently at NILSO Northwest Branch Office in Bangor, Washington. I would note that these are a wonderful group of young people who are excited for the opportunity that you're giving them. And they come from across the country, and they will be representing volunteers from across the country. And with that, Madam, I present these candidates with one caveat. Apparently this is being broadcast on TV.org, which for us military folks is tangovictor.org. And if it wants to be viewed again by these wonderful folks or their families, they can be viewed. And with that, I offer these candidates for admission.
Thank you very, very much for your presentation this morning, but also for your service with the LAMP program. It's important that we have local attorneys who are willing to take this on and coordinate which you have described correctly, a rather robust CLE program, and the relationship between the bar and the military. If it weren't for people like yourself and others in LAMP, this program wouldn't, I don't think, have the cachet and be nearly as robust as it currently is. So thank you, and thank your section. Certainly listening to your backgrounds, you're all very impressive people. I travel I-5 past Joint Base Lewis McChord every day. I must say, I think about you often, those of you who are stationed there. Sometimes my thoughts aren't entirely pure, like at rush hour. But I do think about the service that you indeed are going to be embarking on as I pass those little hotels and pawn shops and other establishments that have been opened to facilitate the parting of the soldiers' money from their wallets, and I very much appreciate what you're taking on because the need is great. We've also, a number of us on the court, been able to tour at the Bangor station, and Justice Owens and I believe Justice Stevens and others have had an opportunity to tour your submarine base, and I think Justice Owens and I actually took a sub down, at least in the simulation. We took the sub down to very deep depths, and it was quite an experience. And in Everett, I have a relationship there as well, having a son who is in the Naval Sea Cadets and was stationed up there for a couple of weeks working at the naval base in Everett in the hospital up there. So you are, in fact, a very important part of the life of the state of Washington. And hearing your background, if you have any inclination to settle in Washington State when you're finished with your military duty, you would be more than welcome to join our legal family here in the state of Washington. And with that, I will now administer the oath of office, if you would all rise. Raise your right hands and repeat after me. I, and state your name, do solemnly declare that I am fully subject to the laws of the state of Washington and the laws of the United States, and will abide by the same. I will support the Constitution of the state of Washington and the Constitution of the United States. I will abide by the rules of professional conduct approved by the Supreme Court of the state of Washington. I will maintain the respect due to the courts of justice and judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain any suit or proceeding which shall appear to me to be unjust, or any defense except as I believe to be honestly debatable under the law, unless it is in defense of a person charged with a public offense. I will employ for the purpose of maintaining the causes confided to me only those means consistent with truth and honor. I will never seek to mislead the judge or the jury by any artifice or false statement. I will maintain the confidence and preserve inviolate the secrets of my client, and will and will accept no compensation in connection with the business of my client unless this compensation is from or with the knowledge and approval of the client or with the approval of the court. I will abstain from all offensive personalities and advance no fact prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless or oppressed or delay unjustly the cause of any person. Welcome to the Washington State Bar. You may be seated. This concludes the formal presentation of our new admittees. There was an allusion to TVW. You can watch yourself on TVW on either .org, or you can obtain a CD if you want to mail that to your family. We're very honored, as I say, to be able to have you inducted this morning in this beautiful temple of justice. And we have, I believe, a reception which has been arranged for you in our Chief Justice's reception hall, which is just to the left, immediately preceding the recess of the court. We'll try to join you for a brief period. We do have an administrative conference ourselves this morning, but we do want to have the opportunity to at least say hello and shake your hands. Welcome again to the Washington State Bar Association and to the legal family in the state of Washington. Court is adjourned.
All right. Supreme Court is adjourned.
That I am fully subject to the laws of the state of Washington.
I am fully subject to the laws of the state of Washington.
And the laws of the United States.
And the laws of the United States.
And will abide by the same.
And will abide by the same.
I will support the Constitution of the state of Washington.
I will support the Constitution of the state of Washington.
And the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the United States.
I will abide by the rules of professional conduct.
I will abide by the rules of professional conduct.
Approved by the Supreme Court.
Approved by the Supreme Court.
Of the state of Washington.
Of the state of Washington.
I will maintain the respect due.
I will maintain the respect due.
To the courts of justice.
To the courts of justice.
And judicial officers.
And judicial officers.
I will not counsel.
I will not counsel.
Or maintain any suit.
Or maintain any suit.
Or proceeding.
Or proceeding.
Which shall appear to me.
Which shall appear to me.
To be unjust.
To be unjust.
Or any defense.
Or any defense.
Except as I believe to be.
Except as I believe to be.
Honestly debatable under the law.
Honestly debatable under the law.
Unless it is in defense of a person.
Unless it is in defense of a person.
Charged with a public offense.
Charged with a public offense.
I will employ for the purpose.
I will employ for the purpose.
Of maintaining the causes confided to me.
Of maintaining the causes confided to me.
Only those means consistent.
Only those means consistent.
With truth and honor.
With truth and honor.
I will never seek to mislead.
I will never seek to mislead.
The judge or the jury.
The judge or the jury.
By any artifice.
By any artifice.
Or false statement.
Or false statement.
I will maintain the confidence.
I will maintain the confidence.
And preserve inviolate.
And preserve inviolate.
The secrets of my client.
The secrets of my client.
And will maintain, and will accept no compensation.
And will accept no compensation.
In connection with the business of my client.
In connection with the business of my client.
Unless this compensation is from.
Unless this compensation is from.
Or with the knowledge.
Or with the knowledge.
And approval.
And approval.
Of the client.
Of the client.
Or with the approval of the court.
Or with the approval of the court.
I will abstain from all offensive personalities.
I will abstain from all offensive personalities.
And advance no fact.
And advance no fact.
Prejudicial.
Prejudicial.
to the honor or reputation of a party or witness, unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay unjustly the cause of any person. Welcome to the Washington State Bar. You may be seated. This concludes the formal presentation of our new admittees. There was an allusion to TVW. You can watch yourself on TVW on either .org, or you can obtain a CD if you want to mail that to your family. We're very honored, as I say, to be able to have you inducted this morning in this beautiful temple of justice. And we have, I believe, a reception which has been arranged for you in our Chief Justice's reception hall, which is just to the left, immediately preceding the recess of the court. We'll try to join you for a brief period. We do have an administrative conference ourselves this morning, but we do want to have the opportunity to at least say hello and shake your hands. Welcome again to the Washington State Bar Association and to the legal family in the state of Washington. Court is adjourned.
All